Forrester. Kenzie takes a touch. She'll have one shot to
good.
the right side, and it's good.
May takes the snap, hands it off to Helton. Similar play, similar result. This time a stiff arm gets Helton free. He's met at the goal line, but he's in.
With numbers, sends it into the circle. O'Donnell to Kylie, shot, score!
Oh, somebody's got to do it. So now the ball through. Benjamin with it. Left foot, right foot is good.
They have cleaned that up over the years a lot. Oh, nice block.
Snap, looks to pass. May rolls to his right, delivers to the end zone. Back in the back of the end zone. Touchdown, Bulldogs! Welcome to Bedford High School here in Bedford, New Hampshire, as the Bedford Bulldogs have their home opener against the Thornton Academy Trojans, all the way from Maine. I'm Corey Munster-Tiger, joined here in the booth by Harry Kozlowski. We're excited to bring you the first home game of the season for the Bulldogs. They come in with a record of 2-0, as does Thornton Academy, also at 2-0. The Bulldogs with wins over Merrimack in their first week, 48-20, and then last week over Nashua South down in Nashua, came out victorious with a 34-14 victory. The Trojans, on the other hand, have had quite a prolific offense and a very stingy defense. 44-0 over Scarborough in their first game of the year, and 42-7 last week against Bangor. Quite a match tonight. Harry, thoughts as we come into the game this evening?
Well, you know, Bedford, they were victorious in their first two games, but there's definitely problems that you could point at in the beginning against Merrimack, that opener, the season opener. Tackling was an issue for sure. And then against Nashua South, penalties and ball security were a bit of a bugaboo. Again, it didn't stop them from winning, but they definitely had, it was not a perfect performance. And now they're going to take on a team in Thornton Academy that is, though I have not watched them on, I haven't seen their games live, but just judging from the score, they've given up all but one score this season. They're obviously coming in strong, they're rolling. And also a factor here is that this Trojans team has lost 3 in a row to Bedford, and they might be getting a little tired of that.
They may be tired indeed, as they are the 2024 Class A champions in Maine. They're not used to losing all that often, and they have done so the last few years to the Bulldogs. Again, those first two scores, 44 and 42 on offense. To me, that average is out to 43. Harry, you can check my math on that. I think it's accurate.
Yeah, I think I'll go with you there.
And that's, again, quite a potent offense. We'll have to see which weapons they choose to use this afternoon. The Bulldogs, on the other hand, have that 1-2 punch that we expected. Bennett Matthews, the senior, has moved over to quarterback this year. He was a wide receiver, slot back, kind of scat back the last couple of years. They have moved him to take over the helm at quarterback, and then returning at his side, senior number 21, Brody Helton, just keeps racking up the yards. 4 touchdowns in that opening game against Merrimack. He runs with authority. He runs with reckless abandon. And I could see that the tacklers are shying away at sometimes because he brings the force every single play.
Yeah, Helton is definitely hitting his stride. There's the introduction for Thornton Academy. They brought their own banner with them here on the road, and a couple of fans, you can hear them in the background. But Helton, he's averaging 9.4 yards per carry, like you said, 4 touchdowns, 30 attempts, 282 yards in 2 games, so he's doing quite well. Right behind him is quarterback Bennett Matthews, who's been quite effective on the ground as well. He's had 29 carries for 263 yards, also scoring 4 touchdowns on the ground. He's averaging 9.1 yards per carry.
That's the 1-2 punch that we talked about, but it was delightful to see a third option emerge last week in Bryson Durso. He has 10 catches on the season for 146 yards, 3 touchdowns all last week against Nashua South. I believe 1 was on the ground and 2 through the air. He had a spectacular game against the Purple Panthers.
We have had the chance to speak with Coach Matthews earlier today, so let's go and see what Coach Matthews has to say about this game.
We are speaking with Bulldogs head coach Zach Matthews. His team is 2-0 after convincing victories over Merrimack and Nashua South, and now they'll finally get to play their first home game tonight against Thornton Academy of Saco, Maine. Coach, welcome home. It's good to speak with you again.
Yeah, it's great to be back on. It feels like we've been on the road forever. I was saying to the kids the other day, it feels like we've been traveling and just playing away games because all of our scrimmages were away as well. So we're super excited to be back, obviously at home in front of the home crowd. And, kids are excited to get out there and be able to show everybody what they've been working hard on.
Well, it's a very unusual schedule this year. You have a majority of games at home, although you started out on the road twice. But from now until the end of the season, I think it's going to be 5 at home, 2 on the road. So it should feel pretty good for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the great things about, varying your schedule. We have to get used to all sorts of things, and I think that for us this year, we're lucky in the fact that we have a really good pocket of home games, obviously in the center part of the season. I don't mind going on the road for 2 weeks in a row initially because the kids are just excited to play games anyway. And now, as you said, we have 5 home games the rest of the way. And so that'll certainly be nice to not have to go far from home for the rest of it.
Every year brings changes with rosters, players graduating. Give us your thoughts on how this year's team's coming together.
Yeah, I mean, this year's team, obviously we have a lot of experience in our senior class. And so, some of those guys, when you start talking about Brody Helton and Bennett Matthews, Connor Flaherty, Brennan Krause, our 4 captains, those guys have been starters since their sophomore year. So, when you talk about big game experience and the opportunities that those guys have had to, play for a championship and whatnot, I think those lessons, that experience is invaluable. And then we're getting some really good contributions from a younger crew here. And the biggest thing I would say is I think the team chemistry this year, we've really kind of worked hard with our upperclassmen and blending them with some of our underclassmen and trying to get good team chemistry and have those guys working together. And so I really like the mix of the guys this year. It's certainly every year, every team is a different feel. But it feels like this group of guys is playing more together or for each other this year, which has the opportunity at least to be pretty special, early in the season.
Yeah, you've had some big games from players. The opener against Merrimack, Brody Helton ran wild. And then last week in Nashville, it was Bryson Durso's turn in the spotlight. When you go into a game, do you select players to focus on, to use more because of matchups? Or do you kind of go with the flow? If you see somebody having a good game, you kind of give them more plays as you go?
Yeah, we always have our core players, right? And so, at this point in time, with a proven playmaker like Brody Helton, we're not strangers to the fact that most people are going to game plan to try to take Brody away. This year, what's been nice for us is the fact that Bennett's back there playing quarterback with his ability to use his legs as well. It really doesn't allow people to gang up as much on Brody. And then we always have to have the ability to adapt. I mean, there's a certain amount of touches we like to get people in a game. But certainly when you look at what Bryson did last week, that more specifically had to do with how they were playing us. And they were choosing to kind of load the box and put a lot of guys keying on Bennett and Brody in the run game. And so that left Bryson in a lot of one-on-one situations on the edge or in some favorable matchups that we'll take every day.
This is the 4th year the Bulldogs have faced the Golden Trojans of Thornton Academy, a team that is consistently one of the top programs in Maine. What do you feel you get playing an out-of-state program, and does scouting out-of-state teams become a little more difficult, getting tape, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, I think the scouting is difficult from a comparison standpoint, right? I mean, Coach Kevin Kiesel, who's been the head coach over there for over 20 years now, does an excellent job. And so that's one of the reasons why we've chosen to continue the relationship, because we have a tremendous amount of respect for him and what he does with his program. These guys always come over here. There's good sportsmanship. It's good hard football, but there's none of the other stuff that sometimes we deal with other opponents. And so we love to prepare for those guys. They always have a pretty solid group, year in and year out, kind of similar to what we do. And so we know we're going to get challenged. I think the difference in the preparation is it's very difficult for us to evaluate the opponents that they're playing on film, right, versus the opponents we're playing on film. There's no crossovers. There's no common opponents. So you can't sit there and say, oh, well, they did this really well against that team, and, we haven't played that team. So you really have to kind of go based on what you're seeing, the eye test. And then there's a period of the first quarter where both teams are kind of settling in, because there's certainly in the state of Maine and state of New Hampshire, there's different styles and different speeds. And our kids have to adjust and settle into that. And that would be the same situation if we were to go play somebody in Massachusetts.
Coach, good luck tonight, and we'll speak again next week.
Thanks again, Harry. Looking forward to it.
And we'll have the call of the game for you right after we thank our underwriters.
BCTV and WBNH thank our underwriters. Primary Bank, New Hampshire's bank for business. PrimaryBankNH.com. The Wicks Insurance Group, serving New Hampshire and the Bedford community with auto, home, life, and business insurance since 1984. TheWicksInsuranceGroup.com. Interim Healthcare of Manchester, personalizing care to help meet your unique health needs. InterimHealthcare.com. Nelson Real Estate of New Hampshire, your local brokerage boutique. Relationships built on trust. MrsNelsonsNeighborhood.com. Great New Hampshire restaurants. Food tastes better with family. Tbones.com or Copperdoor.com.
Academy won the toss, and they elected to defer, and here comes the kick.
Logan LeBlanc on the kickoff for the Trojans, taken deep by Connor Sturgis for the Bulldogs. He brings it out past the 20, past the 30, out close to the 40-yard line, where the Bulldogs will start their first offensive possession on the evening. Not a bad return there by Sturgis.
Great way to start your home opener with a big return, almost 35 yards by Sturgis, giving Bennett Matthews and crew a good drive start here with the first quarter underway.
Senior wide receiver in Sturgis. Likely see him lined up out to the side for Matthews throughout the game. Matthews comes to the line. Slot right. 4 wide receivers set. With Helton behind him, he takes the snap, turns to his left, hands to Helton. He goes off the left tackle, delivering blows with that right shoulder, gets out past the 50-yard line, but the ball is on the turf. They may rule him down, and they do.
They do.
He was down. That ball did squirt out, and you mentioned that ball security as we started this game, Harry.
Yeah, the Bulldogs lost a scoring opportunity deep in the red zone last week to Nashua South due to a turnover, although they did get it back with a turnover of their own later on. But Helton just has to take better care of the ball, although there's no denying he's a battering ram when he's out there running.
So a first down for the Bulldogs right at the midfield stripe. 3 wide receivers to the right, tight left. Matthews takes the snap, hands off to Helton. He goes up the middle. Dodges a few tacklers right at 5 yards and squirts ahead for another 3 or 4. They'll mark him down at the 42-yard line inside Thornton Academy territory. It'll be 2nd and 2 for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, that's a great example of what makes Helton so dangerous, the way he's able to shift and change direction right in the middle of the pack right there. You mentioned right around the 45-yard line, he cuts to his right and gains another 3 yards.
Another 4 wide receiver set for Matthews. Helton lined up to his left. He's 6 yards deep in the gun. Takes the snap. He'll keep it himself around the left-hand side, picks up a few blocks. He has the first down and more as he gets down towards the 30-yard line, and the ball is out. It is in Trojans' hands. That ball slipped out. Defender picked it up and got walloped by Helton, but it is a turnover, and the Trojans come up with a big turnover here early in the game. We see the replay.
It looks like they pulled the ball right out of Matthews' hands. Let's see at what point that occurred.
Right here, he's slowing down, and then that ball sneaks out, and that definitely came out.
Now the question is whether he had his knee down closer to the 31-yard line, and that's exactly where they're going to spot him. So it is a turnover. They're going to call the recoverer of the fumble down at the 32-yard line, but a tough way to start that first possession here by the Bulldogs.
So the Trojans will take over on their own 33. Handoff up the middle. Squeaking around and finding some daylight there is Connor Ayub. He gets out past the 40 to the 41. It'll be 2nd and 2, we'll call it. Just shy of the 41. Hurry up offense here.
Ayub showing some vision on that carry, finding the hole.
Fullerton in the gun. Takes the snap. Keeps it himself, goes to the right-hand side, out beyond the end, slides right at the first down marker, and it looks like they'll give him enough to move the chains.
You know, the officials really need to pay attention when the quarterback goes into the slide, because he started the slide before he was at the first down marker. He slid into it, that is true, but I assume the NHIA rules are similar to the NFL, where once a quarterback gives himself up, that is where the ball is supposed to go, and it would have been short of the marker.
They do award him the first down at their own 43-yard line. Fullerton ready to start on 1st and 10. Bulldogs show blitz. Helton comes, and they wrap up the runner after a 3-yard gain. Off to the right side, it was Ayub with another 3 or 4 yard gain. Call it 4. Second and 6. 9:45 to go here in the first quarter after a Bedford fumble. The Trojans in their first offensive possession. Fullerton has 3 receivers to his left, 1 split out to the right.
And
hard count gets the Bulldogs defensive line to jump, and both of the linesmen agree that it was the Bulldogs jumping into the neutral zone. So a free 5 yards for the Trojan offense will put them into Bedford territory.
Yeah, Zane Beskar was one of the guilty parties there, a little eager to attack the Golden Trojans line, and they wind up giving up 5 yards, making it a very short 2nd and 1 here.
2nd and 1. Fullerton in the gun. Ayub behind him. Takes the snap, runs the option to the right side, pitches it out to Ayub. He's got 1 yard at least, and then is pushed out of bounds, but has the first down at the Bedford 46, close to the 45. First down, Trojans.
Brody Helton met the runner, unfortunately kind of got him high. It was not enough leverage to stop him from advancing. He got the first down.
Well, geez, they're marking it short of the first down. I'm very surprised by this. They must have stepped out before that stick. So they did not move the chains on the far sideline. I'm a little confused by that. It looked like he quite clearly had the first down, but they are not ruling so. 2nd and inches, Fullerton in the gun again. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Ayub stacked behind him. He'll keep it, roll to his left. Tries to pass, and it's complete in the left flat. Caught and out and running. Still on his feet, down to the 20, 15, 10. Running through some tackles and tackled at the 2-yard line. Great run after the catch for Chase Paquette, the junior tight end.
One of the backs here tried to sell out right there. Tried to go for the interception rather than playing the man, and that sprung loose number 44. And the tackling, let's get back to the play here.
They go with their heavy lineup, 2 tights, 3 backs behind Fullerton, who's under center. Kind of a wishbone formation, T formation behind him, as they have 1st and goal from the 2. Fullerton calls out the play, off tackle right, and into the end zone is Ayub. Touchdown, Thornton Academy. 6-0 with the extra point to come with 8:49 to go here in the first quarter.
What I was going to say about the tackling, it was a little reminiscent of that Merrimack game when the Tomahawk receivers were in open field. The defensive backfield for Bedford had a real hard time corralling those runners, and watching that runner kind of zig and zag and avoid the tackles was reminiscent of that poor tackling performance in the Merrimack game.
Trojans spread offense to see if they were covering it well on the Bedford D side. The extra point is up. It looks good. It is good. 7-0. The Thornton Academy Trojans march right down the field. Big play from the tight end, Chase Paquette, to put them in fantastic scoring position on the 2-yard line. They were able to punch it in. The next play, Ayub with a touchdown, and the Trojans go up 7. And so the fumble by Matthews turns out to be a gift for the Trojans and costs them 7 points on the board. And again, as you mentioned, ball security. Helton fumbled on his first carry at the 50-yard line. Luckily, he was down, and it did not result in the turnover. But the very next play, Matthews turns it over, and off and running are the Trojans.
I mean, this game has the potential to be a shootout, so you really don't want to give up possessions, and now you're behind the 8 ball, down 7-0, and don't forget that Thornton Academy deferred. They're going to get the first possession of the second half, so that's going to put added pressure here on Bedford. They have to respond with a score.
LeBlanc will kick it off again for the Trojans. Back deep to receive again. Connor Sturgis takes it inside his own 10-yard line. Gets out close to the 30. He's cut down there as he will be marked very close to the 30. I think they'll call it the 29, and Matthews will bring the Bedford offense back out, see if they can clean some things up and put together a drive. So the Bulldogs' second possession will start on their 29-yard line. They have 3 receivers out to the right-hand side, 1 split end to the left. Helton to the left of Matthews in the backfield. Matthews takes the snap, looks right, pulls it down as he saw coverage out here in the right flat, near side. Good choice there. Instead of another turnover, chose to eat it, gets back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Matthews was focused on number 2, Dylan Belair. Saw that he wasn't open, and he really stayed in the pocket waiting for his receiver to get open, and hats off to Thornton Academy that the coverage was excellent on that play.
Timing route there, the timing was off and the coverage was good, so Matthews chose to pull it down. 3 receivers to the left now for Matthews. Helton to his right, 1 split to the right. Motion man is Durso. They give it to Helton off the left-hand side. Tries to get to the corner, dodges a few tacklers, dances his way ahead, and has first down yardage out beyond the sticks. They'll mark him out of bounds at the 40-yard line, and the Bulldogs have a first down.
Yeah, the Bulldogs are really going to need...
There is a flag on the play, it looks like, over there on that far sideline.
I see, you're right. I was going to say that the Bulldogs really need Brody Helton to have a big game here today. As you can see, 1 carry can earn them a first down with that 9.4 yard per carry average that Helton has. So they're going to move the sticks. A call might be against Thornton Academy here. Either they'll decline it.
Well, the linesman on that far side picked it up and put it in his pocket. I did not see anybody make the flag over their head saying it was thrown in error, so perhaps it just fell out of his pocket, Harry?
Maybe, I don't know. It's kind of interesting, no explanation, no sign given, but we'll take the first down here.
1st and 10 for the Bulldogs on their own 40-yard line. Matthews in the gun, 3 receivers right, motion man right to left is Durso. They fake it to Helton on the handoff. Matthews feels pressure, he'll scramble out of it, get out to the right-hand side, gets the edge, gets upfield for 3 or 4 yards with a stiff arm to boot as he goes out of bounds at the 44. That's that athleticism that you don't see in every quarterback. Matthews, of course, has it. A 2-sport athlete excelling both here on the football field as well as the lacrosse field. And he showed that athleticism there, escaping the pocket as it collapsed and getting ahead for positive yardage. 2nd and 6 for the Bulldogs on their own 44. 4 receivers set, 2 to each side. Helton to the right of Matthews in the backfield. Matthews in the gun, calls out the signals, takes it, hands it off to Helton. He'll go to the left, cuts it inside the defensive tackle, and he's cut down. Nice tackle there by Brennan Tabor, the junior linebacker, coming up, and only maybe a half a yard gain there for Helton. 3rd and 5. Bulldogs need to get to midfield to move the sticks again.
Every one of Helton's running plays have been to the left, and I think you can only go to the well so often before somebody figures out what you're doing. And that one time, Tabor, kind of read the play and was able to get Helton down early.
Well, I'm sure he doesn't mind running towards Connor Flaherty, the big senior offensive tackle on that left-hand side. Phenomenal force. It really opens up the holes here. Matthews takes the snap, looks out in the flat for Helton, looks downfield, sees nothing, tucks it under his arm, tries to get to the 50. Great job there to push him out of bounds before he gets first down yardage. Again, that was Brennan Tabor pushing him out of bounds. It'll be short of the first down, 4th and 2. So Matthews will send on the punt unit to try to play a little bit of field position game as Elijah Todd will come on and kick it away.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate, unable to get into scoring position here on this possession. And you're giving the ball back to Thornton Academy. Had a pretty good time getting down the field against your defense. Let's hope you can figure something out to stop them.
The Trojans playing safe here, nobody back to receive. They are convinced the Bulldogs are going to fake this. Snap is back all the way to Todd. Gets off a high punt, kind of short, hoping he gets a bounce there. It bounces at the 30 and then goes back towards the Trojans. Favorable position here, and it will be marked at the 34-yard line. where the Trojan offense will come back out on the field.
Our next broadcast on BCTV is field hockey. That team having a great year so far. I believe they're 5-1. Dover Green Wave come to Bedford Stadium on Wednesday, the 24th. That's going to be a 5:30 broadcast here on BCTV channels 8 and 1072.
On their own 34.
Fullerton comes back out. He's in the shotgun. Has 3 receivers to his left, 1 split end to the right. Takes the snap, looks out to the left flat, delivers it out to Ayub. He's got a little bit of space. It's shut down quickly. 2 tacklers bounce off of him, and then he keeps his legs churning, getting out to the 40-yard line. 6-yard gain, 2nd and 4 for the Trojans.
Gain of 6 on a play makes it 2nd.
Nice job there by Ayub. Felt first contact, kept those legs moving, broke those first 2 tacklers, and scooted ahead for another 3, maybe 4 yards. 3 receivers out to the right for Fullerton. 1 to the left. Fakes the handoff to Ayub. He'll keep it himself. Runs out to the left-hand side, takes a hit as he gets to that sideline. Coming up with authority was Winston Hune.
That was a solid ball fake there by the quarterback.
It honestly looked like he bobbled it as Ayub went by. I'm not sure if he meant to give it or if he meant to pull it back, but he kind of hesitated there as he pulled it down and came to the near side. Good thing that he was able to keep it for him, preventing any kind of fumble there. 3 receivers out right, 1 to the left. Ayub to the right of Fullerton in the backfield. Takes the snap, quick pass out to the right flat is complete, has first down yardage at the 45-yard line, and the Trojans have a first down.
Well covered play. Unfortunately, it was just enough for first down. The receiver 1 yard beyond the line of gain made the catch. And here we go, another set of downs here for Thornton Academy. 5:45 to go here in the first quarter. They lead 7-0 thanks to a fumble by the Bulldogs on their first possession.
Fullerton with 3 receivers to his left, tries to get the jump again. Both the left side defensive linemen did jump. I'm not sure they actually moved into that neutral zone, but the flags do come down. It'll be another 5-yard penalty on the Bulldog defense. 1st and 5, the ball will be marked right at midfield. The Bulldogs giving away yardage here a couple of different times on jumps into the neutral zone. That's the 2nd already here in the first quarter. The Trojans keep the same play. Fullerton has Ayub to his back left. He'll hand it to him, and he goes to the right-hand side off the right guard. Stacked up pretty close to the line of scrimmage. They may give him a yard or a yard and a half. It'll be 2nd and a long 3. Helton in on the stop. They mark it inside Bedford territory right at the 48. Yard to gain is the Bedford 45. Fullerton looks to the side to get clarification from the coaches. 3 receivers come to the near side, his left, and there is some confusion in the backfield. They're not quite sure what to do, and they'll likely take a timeout here to prevent a delay of game. They do not. They continue on. Ball is snapped, and there's still confusion in the backfield. Helton comes up with a big stick there right at the 50-yard line. A 2-yard loss on the play for the Trojans. It'll be 3rd and 5.
And you just saw what was confusing there. The quarterback looked for his running back, and he was in the wrong spot.
Fullerton expected him to come by his left hip. He did not. He kind of circled around behind on a little flare pattern out to that right flat. And that could have been disastrous. It was not. Ayub caught it, took a decent hit from Helton out there in the right flat. And it is 3rd and 5. Fullerton, 2 receivers each side. Ayub to his left. Takes a snap, looks to the left, delivers it out to the flat. Off the hands of intended receiver Simon Gellis.
And Winston Hune dislodged the ball with his head.
Great job there by Hune coming up, making contact right as the ball arrived at the receiver's hands. It'll be 4th and 5. And the Trojans send in the punt unit. likely to have a similar reaction from this Bedford Bulldog defense in a safe kind of formation. Snap is all the way back to the punter. It's away, and it's a good one. Helton back to receive, takes it at the 16-yard line, tackled immediately there. Nice coverage on the play by Chase Paquette. So the Bulldogs will start their third possession on their own 17-yard line. Good flip of field position here for the Trojans. Nice defense there by the Bulldogs, recovering from that first drive as they let up a 67-yard drive to the Trojans as they went up 7-0. Bulldogs looking to answer here on their third drive. A fumble and a punt were the results of their first two. Delivered out to the left-hand side in the flat. Helton has the catch, drives through a couple of tacklers, and he's ahead for 6 yards on that far sideline out past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Tackle on the play by Ben Knox, number 19. Getting the shoulder into Helton, driving him out of bounds.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
3:34 to go here in this first quarter. The Bulldogs trail 7-0 to the visiting Thornton Academy Trojans. But they do have the ball back and looking to bounce back and get some points on the board. 4 receivers set. Motion left to right. They fake the jet sweep. Matthews takes it down in the middle, off the left guard. Flags are thrown, as you mentioned. Matthews' face mask was pulled pretty hard. Likely a 15-yard penalty there. And a good flip of field position there for the Bulldogs.
The flags came out quickly, although sometimes it doesn't feel like they come out quite as quickly. As soon as you see that foul, you think, where are the flags?
There has to be a half a beat there where the referee has a chance to actually grab the flag.
True.
Harry, right?
True.
So they do see it. They do call it.
And it should be a flagrant call here. It should be a 15.
Now, there's a possibility that they're offsetting penalties. There were 2 flags down on the field. They may be for 2 fouls, but no, it is not a personal foul. Face mask is called on the Trojans, and they'll march the Bedford Bulldogs offense ahead 15 from the end of the run. So he was pulled down at the 32-yard line. We'll get him all the way out to the 47. So the Bulldogs close to midfield. Again, 3:27 left here in the first quarter. They trail 7-0.
1st and 10.
1st and 10, and they send 3 receivers to the right side of the formation, 1 split end to the left. Helton to the right of Matthews in the backfield. Motion right to left is Zane Beskar. They hand it to they hand it to Helton. He gets back to the line of scrimmage. Perhaps he might have been shy of the line of scrimmage as he is marked down at the 47. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah,
Tabor on the stop for the Trojans.
That motion by Besker really didn't fool anybody.
You know, the motions for a few different reasons there. Sometimes it's to try to identify coverage on pass plays. Sometimes it's to get the defensive linebackers and D-line to shift a little bit in their alignment. In this case, as you mentioned, didn't really do much for the Bulldog offense there. 2nd and 10. Durso. Motion right to left. They fake the jet sweep. Matthews will bring it down. Tries to get around to that right edge, and he's going to get caught for a 1-yard loss. Grady Hersey on the tackle there.
Yeah, Matthews kind of hesitated rather than staying right behind his blocker. Helton was leading the way here. If he hadn't waited there, or Helton, I guess, kind of whiffed on that block. He was trying to take out number 15, Dominic Hussey, but didn't really stop him enough, and Hussey is able to slow Matthews down for his teammate to take him down. So a bit of a blocking execution issue there.
Nicely played by that Trojan defense too, stringing it out to that left-hand side. Matthews on 3rd and 11, drops back to pass, waits for his receivers and tries to get things to develop. His pass goes way over the head of Helton It'll be 4th and 11, and the punt team will come back out for the Bulldogs.
That was curious why he threw the ball away. Helton, it wasn't like Helton was covered. He could have at least gotten the throw to him and see what Helton could do as far as getting some of that field position back.
Yeah,
so
I'm not sure he meant to overthrow him there. I think it just sailed on him. As Matthew saw him hanging out there, he did have a defensive lineman in his face to that left side, so tried to feather it in there with a little bit of touch, but it goes way over Helton's head and incomplete. 4th and 11. Back here to punt. Elijah Todd gets off a good one this time. Fair catch called for and made at the 24-yard line. Handled nicely by Brennan Tabor. And the Trojans will have their 3rd offensive possession of this first quarter. 1:33 to go. 7-0 is your score. The visiting Trojans lead the Bulldogs.
Next week is Goffstown Rivalry Week. All the sports teams will be taking on their compatriots in Goffstown. And we're going to be bringing you the broadcast courtesy of Goffstown TV. Boys soccer, girls soccer, field hockey, and of course football. I'm going to try to do the call on radio if we can set that up, but at the very least we'll have the Goffstown TV call for you next week.
Fullerton brings the Trojan offense back out to the field. Another almost muffed handoff to Ayub. He does keep it under his wing and gets it out to the 26-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like Ayub stopped for a minute to make sure he had a handle of that ball, but he still was able to pick up 2 yards.
My tuba friends are in my way again here. These guys were killing me last year.
Here, I'm sitting a little higher here.
All good, all good. Fullerton back in the gun. Tries to get the hard count again. The defensive line has good discipline this time. They do not jump. And Fullerton looks to the sideline for additional signals. 3 receivers out to his right, 1 to the left. Ayub back to his right. Fullerton checks his position, now claps his hands, takes the snap, pitches it out to Ayub around the left-hand side, delivers a right shoulder blow, and he's close to a first down near the 34. They mark him out, and I believe they will move the chains on that one.
Yeah, Brennan Krause had a handful of jersey. Unfortunately, those jerseys do tear away. Really didn't slow the runner down very much.
Looked like Helton's helmet came off there on the near sideline. He came to the side and took a knee, so let's monitor that situation. Fullerton looks to the side again. 3 receivers to his right side. Split end to the left. Ayub back to his right again. He takes the snap, looks out to the right. He'll roll to the right. He's going to keep it and slide. And he'll take a 1 or 2 yard loss there. It was an interesting play. Didn't have blockers out in front of him. I wasn't sure if it was a run or a pass. He slides down for a loss of 2, and that'll do it for the first quarter of play here at Bedford High School, with the visiting Thornton Academy Golden Trojans leading 7-0 after 1.
We at BCTV and Bedford 105.1 would like to thank our underwriters for supporting our live sports coverage. They include Primary Bank, the Wicks Insurance Group, Interim Healthcare of Manchester, Nelson Real Estate of New Hampshire, and great New Hampshire restaurants like T-Bones and the Copper Door. Thank you very much for your support. And while I've got a moment, I want to greet all the viewers we have in Saco, Maine and surrounding area. They are watching us, hopefully on our live web stream. And I'm sure they're enjoying the action so far with their Golden Trojans leading 7-0.
Broadcasting today live on BCTV channels 8 and 1072, as well as Bedford Radio 105.1. YouTube channel going out there too, and all those other ways that you can catch this live action here on Friday night at Bedford's home opener here against Thornton Academy, visiting over from Maine.
And as you might expect on a gorgeous Friday evening, a full crowd here for the opener. Stands are full, standing room. Perfect night for Friday Night Lights here in Bedford, New Hampshire.
The mean-looking inflatable bulldog is still down to our right in the corner of the end zone. Nice little add to the Bulldogs pregame ceremony over the last few years. Fullerton's ready to get things going here. 12 minutes back on the board, second quarter set to begin. Fullerton takes the snap, hands it off. Ayub off the left guard. He's met after a 2-yard gain, getting back to the original line of scrimmage, just past the 35-yard line. 3rd and 9 coming up here for the Trojans.
Winston Hune, Brody Helton, along with Connor Flaherty on that tackle, all teaming up.
Flaherty, a load to deal with on that defensive line. 6'4", 300 on the roster. He is all of that. Fullerton takes the snap, looks to the right flat, deliver, complete. They look for the little wide receiver screen. It cannot get much more than a couple of yards. It'll be 4th down. Complete to Nathan Neal. He tried to dance around and find some room, and the defensive pursuit by the Bulldogs tacklers was true. It'll be 4th and we'll call it 6, maybe 7.
Bryson Durso led the pack of Bulldogs to take the runner down, and that play, even though it was fairly quick and developing, it didn't fool anybody on the Bedford defense. They were all over it.
Fullerton will do the punting duties this evening. He takes the long snap, puts it off of his foot, caught by Helton at his own 25-yard line, racing ahead up the middle, spins off some tacklers. Flag. Now he has some room. There's a flag back all the way at the 30-yard line. Helton still on his feet and goes out of bounds deep in Trojan territory, but there is some dirty laundry back at the Bedford 31.
Yeah, unfortunately, those flags rarely go against a kicking team.
Very true. See if we can find it here on the replay. I don't see anything yet.
Block in the back there?
Yeah, probably a block in the back. I see one way coming out of.
I don't know.
The up?
No, they're calling it a hold.
Oh, a hold.
I did not see that. Did not see that.
So the call goes against the Bulldogs after a spectacular run on the return for Helton. He was deep inside Trojan territory, I believe, pushed out near the 30 or 25-yard line, but all for naught.
A 60-yard swing in field position thanks to that holding call. The tough breaks that are costing the Bulldogs. Field position, ball possession.
At their own 20-yard line.
These are the kind of mistakes they need to erase to win games like these against a quality opponent.
10:33 to go in the first half. 7-0. The Trojans lead the Bulldogs, who start their 4th offensive possession here on their own 20-yard line. Matthews in the gun, Helton to his left. 2 receivers to each side. Signals called out. Matthews will keep it himself to the left-hand side. Gets to the 20, pushes ahead to about the 22. He'll give him forward progress and a 2-yard gain. 2nd and 8 for the Bulldogs. So I noticed it last time on his fumble in that first possession of the game. He kept that ball in his right hand as he ran to the left-hand side. A lot of times, you know, again, it'll vary on coaches, it'll vary on players, but a lot of times they want that ball to the outside hand for the runner. So he would have it in his left hand as he's carrying it out to that left side.
Well, that fumble really was having the ball ripped out of his hands by the tackler.
4 receivers set again for Matthews. Takes the snap, fakes it to Helton. He'll go to the right-hand side. Looks like he's going to keep it. Tries to pick around, get some room. Good pursuit by the defense. 2-yard gain, 3-yard gain. They'll give him, maybe they won't. They give him out to the 24. It'll be 3rd and 6 for this Bulldog offense. Looking to get a few plays together here and clean up some penalties, clean up some tough plays that have not gone the Bulldogs' way.
Well, the game has turned into a bit of a defensive struggle here after Thornton Academy took their opening possession off the turnover by the Bulldogs all the way down in for a touchdown. Neither team has been able to score since.
I believe you used the word shootout there right after the Trojans scored. Matthews takes the snap, looks left. Patience delivers deep down the field. He's got a man. Durso is open. He's got the catch inside Trojan territory. Catches it at the 41, ahead for another 6 yards, and tackled at the 35. Durso with a great catch. Matthews with some patience. Excellent blocking up front to give him time to deliver that ball downfield.
40-yard passing play right there. Add that to the 146 Bryson Durso already has, 186 on the season. And that's the kind of big play that Bedford needed to get back into this.
Yeah, we're going to want to see that replay again. I know you just showed it there, Andrew. Nice double move from that slot for Durso as he's lined up. Excuse me, he was all the way out. No, he's in that left slot. Little fake to the outside, cuts it back in, a little corner to the post move, gets himself some space, makes a big catch for this Bulldog offense. 1st and 10 at the 35. Matthews looks left, now looks back to the right. Over the middle, he's got his man. It's complete. It's Durso again, takes a hit, spins off. He does not go down, finds some extra room, and has another first down. That was reminiscent of a play last week where he bounced off at least 4 or 5 tacklers on his way to pay dirt against Nashua South.
Durso showing the balance of a spinning top. He hit him, but he can't get him down.
Started in that right slot, little drag route across the middle. He had 3 linebackers chasing him, picked up a block from Helton, bounced off 2 tacklers there and ahead for another 6 or 7 yards. Great play and individual effort by Bryson Durso on that play. 1st and 10 Bulldogs at the 23-yard line.
Best field position of the evening so far for Bedford.
Heading in Trojan territory. Beskar motion right to left. Now they'll hand it off to Helton. He goes to the right side, bounces it out, tries to get some space. A flag comes in.
Now, I'm not sure what that's for. I did not think I saw a holding, and they're going to say holding.
Call a hold.
Well, another one's going to put the Bulldogs in a hole here. These penalties keep putting them behind the sticks. You know, just as they have some momentum.
Let's see if we can see it.
Well, the one number 15 from Thornton Academy, Dominic Hussey, raised his arm like, hey, I'm being held here, and I guess the officials agreed. I couldn't really see in the scrum what exactly was happening, but the officials agreed that something was going on.
Penalty occurred right at the line of scrimmage. 10 yards marches them back to the 33-yard line. 1st and 20 for this Bulldog offense. I tried to keep my mouth shut. I didn't really see much there, but we don't want to disparage the officials. They do a great job and do what they can with what they can see. 3 receivers out to the left, 1 to the right for Matthews. Helton stacked right behind him. Takes the snap, looks to the left, gets happy feet, pulls it down, avoids the sack, and now gets out to the right-hand side, back to the original line of scrimmage. Great pursuit again from this Trojan defense.
That's going to count as a sack. It was a loss of 1 on that scramble. Hard to tell if he was hit out of bounds. I think he was hit inbounds, and just the momentum carried everybody out of bounds.
They'll mark him for a 1-yard loss as it is spotted at the 34-yard line, right hash. 2nd and 21 at the Trojans' 34. 6:32 and counting here in the first half. 7-0 is your score. The Trojans ahead by a touchdown. Matthews, 4 receivers set, 2 each side. Helton to his left. Surveys the defense, calls out the signals, takes the snap, looks to the right, delivers down to the right-hand side, overthrows intended receiver Durso. That'll be 3rd and 21. After the holding penalty, the scramble out to the right, and now an incomplete pass. The Bulldogs had 1st and 10 at the 23, and as you said, Harry, that was their best field position of the day. Seemed to be squandering it here.
Yeah, that penalty is killing all the momentum they've had on this drive. And I would imagine if they at least get half or more on this 3rd down, they might be going for it on 4th. Still early in the game, but I think they don't want to waste the field position. It would be a long field goal.
Elijah Todd is the kicker too. He does have quite a leg, but they'll need a decent amount of yardage here to get him in field goal range. Matthews takes the snap, but I believe we have a delay of game. Yep, delay of game, another 5 yards. They will march backwards. So
that's tough because there's no, in NHIAA, there's no end zone clock, so you really have no idea. I guess the official kind of gives a hand signal when you're down to the final 5 seconds, but now it's going to be 3rd and 26. Yeah, let's make it a little tougher.
It's a long 26, yeah, as they mark it outside the 30,
oh yeah, that extra half
39-yard line.
Oh, that's really making it hard.
Yeah, now
26
Matthews
and a half.
will have 4 receivers set again. Helton stacked to his left. He's in the gun. Motion man left to right is Zane Beskar. He takes the snap. Looks downfield. Fakes. The jump goes high. Matthews will pull it down and run. He's got some space. He cuts it back in the middle. Good pursuit on the backside from the defense. Matthews gets it back close to the original line of scrimmage. After a 16-yard gain, it'll be 4th and 10.
So they're going to be at the 23. That would be a 40-yard kick. I don't know if
they sent him
Bedford's
out, though.
Kicker, they're going to try the kick.
Yeah,
huh?
Todd
Right.
is out there with a tee in his hand. 7-yard snap would place it at the 30. So Elijah Todd will have an attempt for a 40-yard field goal. He's just outside of the 30. So let's call it 41. Left hash.
Elijah Todd.
He takes his steps back.
You know, could they run a fake out of this?
Holder here is Dylan Belair. They certainly could, but it's a 10-yard down here as it's 4th and 10. Snap is back. Hold is down. The kick is up. It looks a
Wide.
bit short, and it is short. No good. Tough kick there for Elijah Todd. So field goal attempt is no good. And the Trojans will take over.
Well, the Trojans have 5 minutes left on the clock here. Bedford really could have used some points on the board here just to get within striking distance, but you know, the last thing you want to see is the Golden Trojans burn up 5 minutes, add a score, and then get the ball back to start the 3rd quarter, a little double dip. So the Bedford defense needs to come up big right here.
Bulldogs really shot themselves in the foot there with a big holding penalty that marched them backwards, and they weren't able to recover. Now Ayub will try the right side as the Trojans have their 4th possession of this first half. He's tackled after maybe a yard gain, 2nd and 9 for the Trojans.
I did use the word shootout based on that first drive by the Bulldogs and the first drive by the Golden Trojans, but so far it's been a defensive contest. The Bedford defense has really adjusted well.
They certainly have, as they did there. Just a 1-yard gain for Ayub, 2nd and 9 for Fullerton. Looks to the sideline. He has 3 receivers out to his left, 1 split right. Ayub to his left in the backfield. He's 5 yards deep, ready to take the snap. Fakes the handoff out to the left-hand side. Pass into the flat was nearly picked off, then caught after a very high deflection. Nice job by Chase Paquette. It might have been wise to just bat that down. I'm not sure if he actually made yardage on that or not.
That's why I chuckled, because he actually cost him a couple of yards by making that catch.
Looks like it's a loss of 1. So 3rd and 10, as we see on the replay, getting right in there. Great job to step into the passing lane.
That would have been big.
Cody Bayer almost came up with a big one. It glanced right off the forehead of his helmet. And Paquette, great concentration to make the catch, but again, he loses a yard on the play. So tough to make that call right in the moment. 3rd and 10 for the Trojans. Fullerton takes the snap, looks left, delivers to that left flat. Ayub out of the backfield. He looks like he has first down yardage.
Great call there, putting Ayub on a slant pattern right there, right for the marker.
Just quick out of the backfield. Tough for those linebackers to stay up with him, and they do move the chains with 3.5 to go in this first half.
A little bit of no huddle going now too.
Fullerton takes the snap again, hands it off up the middle. Ball's on the ground, and it looks like the Bulldogs might have it.
I think they do.
Not going to call anything yet. Looks like Ayub pops back up off the ground with it.
Oh.
So
I thought a Bedford player had
honestly, it looked like 2 Bedford players were there, and if Ayub came away with it, he did a marvelous job of recovering that. That's on the ground.
I thought right there, I thought he got that.
Yeah,
get the number, and I guess they threw the beanbag in there just to mark the.
Yeah, anytime
so anyway,
that pops out, they'll throw that yardage marker. So
stays with Thornton Academy.
2nd and 11 for the Trojans. Fullerton with 3 receivers out to the right. Looks like he's changing the play at the line of scrimmage as he barks out an audible to his lineman. Steps back 5 yards, takes the snap, hands it off up the middle. Ayub still has room out past the 40. It looks like he might have another first down for the Trojans, and they move the chains once again.
I wonder what Fullerton saw to call that audible. Whatever it was, it worked. Sending Ayub straight up the middle, picked up 11, first down.
And they're back over the ball as they're in a 2-minute drill. 2.5 to go here in the first half. Fullerton takes the snap, looks right, double move on the outside, delivers it high and outside, looking for Nathan Neely. Double move there for Neely, but it was just over his head. 2nd and 10 for the Trojans.
Clock stops, 2:29 left here in the second. 7-0 Thornton Academy. 2nd and 10 coming up here.
And this is not what we expected from this Bulldog offense, being shut out so far here in this first half. Fullerton takes the snap, runs the option to the left-hand side. Lefty pitch out to Ayub, tries to get the corner, gets ahead for maybe 2 yards. It'll be 3rd and 9.
Well sniffed out there by Bedford. They were expecting the pitch. They had a Bulldog positioned at every player, and then finally Helton finished off Ayub, the final recipient of the football. Well, the clock is running. Thought Ayub might have gone out of bounds. Clock is still moving ahead. We're under 2 minutes. 3rd and 9.
Yard line to gain is inside the Bedford 48-yard line. Fullerton with 2 receivers to each side. Ayub to his right. Motion man is Neely. They'll hand it off up the middle. Ayub dances around. He's got some space. Shoestring tackle there by Bayer. Saved a huge gain, but it is a first down. They'll mark him at the Bedford 46. And the Trojans trying to get more points on the board before this half expires.
Ayub showing some terrific footwork. He just cut his way through the Bedford defense and got another first down. He's the player they go to when they need a first.
Fullerton again tries the double move on the outside. Intended receiver was Simon Gellis again. A little out and up, but overthrows his man. 2nd and 10 on the Bedford 46.
Clock stops, 1:23.
On the incompletion there. Again, Fullerton trying to guide his offense here for more points before we have the break. See the marching band circling the track on our right-hand side, getting ready for their halftime show. Fullerton takes a shot down the right-hand side. Over the head again, once again intended for Simon Gellis. Couldn't quite get his mittens on that ball as it sailed to the outside shoulder.
Winston Hune was on coverage, and that went right through his hands. The ball placement was perfect, but the receiver could not close on the ball.
Nice ball by Fullerton there. High and away to that outside shoulder. Just couldn't quite make the connection. 4 receivers set again for Fullerton. And the Trojans will take a timeout. They didn't like how they were lining up on that offensive side of the board.
Timeout called by Thornton.
Didn't want to waste another 5 yards on a penalty there, so they wisely take a timeout. They'll discuss things with 1:17 left here in the first half. 7-0 is your score. The Thornton Academy Golden Trojans lead the Bedford Bulldogs by a touchdown.
Check out more Bedford High School sports action from Bedford Community TV on our Apple TV and Roku apps, or on what I meant to say is that you can watch us on Apple TV or Roku through the Cablecast ScreenWeave app that you can download into your smart TV. You can also download the Bedford Community TV app, and you can have on-demand and live programming that way as well.
Many different options to see and hear the dulcet tones of Harry Kozlowski.
And Corey Munster-Tiger.
Oh yeah, you can add me in here.
Let's not forget you.
5 receivers set, empty backfield here for Fullerton. He's 5 yards deep in the gun.
Where's Ayub?
Looks like he's split all the way out to the right here. They'll deliver it down. Great hand and picked off. Durso comes up with a big play here. Dodges some tacklers, gets back out to the left. Great pursuit back from the left-hand side. Simon Gellis gets back and tackles Durso, but that's a huge interception for the Bulldogs defense. It was batted, tipped up in the air, and Durso comes down with it. And the interception gives the Bulldogs some hope here with 66 seconds left in the half.
And they've got all three.
The ball on the Trojan 45-yard line.
They have all 3 timeouts here to work with. 45 yards to the end zone. Durso making plays on offense and defense. Let's see what Coach Matthews has planned here.
45 yards to go for Pay Dirt. 3 receivers out to the right. Tight end is left for Matthews. He takes the snap, looks to his right-hand side. Short in the flat to Helton. Sees some room, cuts it back to the left-hand side, picks up a couple of blocks, gets to the edge, and he steps out of bounds near the 30-yard line. 15, maybe a 16-yard gain as they will throw the little white beanbag at the 29-yard line. Good first down play for the Bulldogs as they look to get their first points on the board here.
Yeah, Carter, watch this this play here. And Helton was using the official as a blocker right there. Smart move.
Beskar coming back, a nice little crackback block.
And he does step out of bounds there, but boy, number 10, Carter Moody, got the worst of that collision.
As we've talked about, Helton running with some anger as he tries to deliver a blow each and every time he's tackled. You like to see that aggression. 4 receivers set for Matthews. Helton to his right. Trojans show blitz and they come. Matthews dances, slides to his left. Delivers it to the sideline, too high. Intended receiver there was Dylan Belair. It is incomplete and 2nd and 10. On the Trojans' 29-yard line.
There was a blitz on that play by the Golden Trojans, but Helton stayed in and picked it up nicely. Gave his quarterback more time to make that throw.
Yeah, good observation there, Harry. The offensive line did a phenomenal job of giving Matthews some time, and Helton there stepped up to pick up the blitzing linebacker. So 51.4 seconds remaining here in the first half. The Trojans ahead 7-0. Matthews breaks the huddle. Tight end to the left, 3 receivers out to Matthews' right. Helton to his right as well. Matthews takes the snap, looks to the right-hand side. Bounces a little bit. Durso, he's got it. No, he doesn't.
No, I thought
just
he had
overthrown. Tough to see from our side. Durso tried to get those hands up and just missed it. Love to see the replay on there if he actually was able to touch it. That ball seemed to disappear. Little post corner route by Durso. Nice ball by Matthews.
He was open for a minute.
He sure was.
But the ball just
out of reach.
He had to wait for that ball a little bit, and it gave enough time for the Thornton Academy defender to catch up to him.
3rd and 10 for the Bulldogs on the Trojans' 29. Empty backfield for Matthews. He has 3 receivers to the left. Slot is right, takes the snap, looks to the left, feels pressure from his right. Little shovel pass ahead. Nice. Durso caught it right by the near sideline. I'm not sure he has enough for a first down. I don't believe he does. So that'll bring up a 4th down.
Little Josh Allen play there with the shovel pass. I was going to say before the play began, this is definitely 2-down territory here with 37.6 seconds left. A little bit outside the range of the kicker. Oh, they're going to try it again?
They're going to try it again here,
well,
yeah.
What
so
do I know?
The ball is spotted on the 23.
The same spot that Todd wasn't able to connect from before.
It sure was. The hold will be on the 30. It will be placed there. Snap is back. The hold is down. Kick is up. It looks short again, and it is just short. So unable to convert. Elijah Todd missed his 2nd attempt again from 40 yards out. Tough one there. And it will be turned over. So
I'm a little surprised that they went for a field goal there, especially after missing the last 40-yarder.
I don't disagree. The last one was 4th and 10. This was 4th and 5, so a little bit closer, better odds there. If I'm Coach Matthews, I might have rolled the dice and gone for it on 4th there. So the interception by Durso turned the tables. 32.5 to go here in this first half.
Looks like they're just going to kneel it out.
Trojans are in victory formation, so they will take the snap, kneel it down. They'll be content to trot into halftime with that lead.
And they will get the ball back to start the next half.
That'll do it. As you mentioned, the Trojans won the toss. They did defer. They will get the opening kickoff of the second half. We'll end the first half as we ended the first quarter. 7-0 is your score. The Trojans ahead by a touchdown.
That'll mark the end of the first half where Thornton leads Bedford 7-0.
We will take a break here in the booth. Harry's probably going to get a cheeseburger. I might sip on some tea. And we will join you here for second half action. In the meantime, please enjoy the Bedford High School Marching Band and Color Guard. They've been working hard on their halftime show and have some good entertainment for you. So take a look, have a listen, and we'll join you on the other side for second half action here from Bedford High School.
BCTV and WBNH thank our underwriters. Primary Bank, New Hampshire's bank for business. PrimaryBankNH.com. The Wicks Insurance Group, serving New Hampshire and the Bedford community with auto, home, life, and business insurance since 1984. TheWicksInsuranceGroup.com. Interim Healthcare of Manchester, personalizing care to help meet your unique health needs. InterimHealthcare.com. Nelson Real Estate of New Hampshire, your local brokerage boutique. Relationships built on trust. MrsNelsonsNeighborhood.com. Great New Hampshire restaurants. Food tastes better with family. Tbones.com or CopperDoor.com.
The Bedford High School Marching Band and Color Guard is proud to present their 2025 halftime show, The World Turned Upside Down, the music of Hamilton. Selections include Alexander Hamilton, arranged by Jeff Chambers, The World Turned Upside Down, arranged by Jeff Chambers, Dear Theodosia and Schuyler Sisters, arranged by Matt Bruno, and Nonstop, History Has Its Eyes on You, arranged by Jeff Chambers. The band is under the direction of Matt Bruno, Assistant Director Tom Salyers, and Color Guard Instructor Maria Rosado. The drum majors are Naomi Akirav, Phaedra Brown, and Allie Myers. The drumline captain is Lena Dunlap, and the color guard captain is Avery Potter.
Welcome back to Bedford High School here in Bedford, New Hampshire, where the visiting Thornton Academy Golden Trojans lead the Bulldogs 7-0 after the first half of action. Harry, we saw what we thought was going to be a run and gun, high-scoring affair after 3, 4, maybe, 5 offensive plays from either side. You used the word shootout, and a shootout is not what we think of as 7-0 at halftime.
No,
what happened?
Well, what I based it on was the way Bedford came out. They were moving the ball. They were gaining big chunks of yardage thanks to Brody Helton and, of course, Bennett Matthews on his carry. Unfortunately, Bennett couldn't hold on to the ball and wound up giving it back to the Golden Trojans, who went right down the field and put it in at the 8:49 mark of the first quarter. Ayub with a 2-yard run plus the extra point made it 7-0. That is the total of the scoring. Since then, the Bedford defense has really hunkered down and has pretty much stymied everything that the Golden Trojans have thrown at them. Unfortunately, when Bedford gets the ball, they've been making mistakes, penalties, unfortunate penalties, turnovers, things just not working out. I mean, they had a great drive before the end of the half, coming off the interception, as a matter of fact. This big throw right here, a fantastic setup here to Bryson Durso. And right after that, the holding penalty sent him back to 1st and 20, and then a sack made it 2nd and 21, and then a delay of game made it 3rd and 26. So it's just been one error after another for the Bulldogs, but they're still in the game. It's still a 1-score game, and all they need to do is just get it in the end zone. They've shown they can move the ball, and they've also shown they can stop this powerful Golden Trojans team, the state champs, the large conference Class A, whatever they call that in Maine. They're the champs. They're the best team that Maine has, and they've been playing toe-to-toe with them so far.
I do not fault you for using the word shootout. I was under the same belief after seeing those first opening drives here. The defenses have stepped up and have stymied both offenses along the way. We had a fumble on that first possession, 2 punts, and then 2 missed field goals for the Bedford Bulldog offense, both from 40 and beyond. The Trojans, on the other hand, scored on their first possession, a nice catch and run. Honestly, the run was more impressive for Chase Paquette on that opening drive, got them down to the 2-yard line. They were able to punch it in only one play later. Ayub, who has had an outstanding first half, showing some nifty footwork, some strength, some agility to avoid tacklers, has been a force to be reckoned with for the Trojans.
And who does that remind you of?
A little bit of what we see out of Helton, honestly. And yet we haven't seen that tonight. So they scored a touchdown on their first drive, punted twice, and then Bryson Durso, in addition to his contributions on the offensive side, came up with an interception there on the 4th possession of the game for the Trojans. So a defensive battle, not what we expected, but that is what has materialized here. 12 minutes back on the board. We are just about ready for third quarter action from Bedford High School. Again, the Trojans won the toss. They did defer, so they will be returning the ball and get the first offensive possession of this third quarter.
And if you tuned in at 7 o'clock, you were probably wondering where the game was. The Golden Trojans got a late start out of Saco. They had to delay the start of this game by 30 minutes, but it really hasn't seemed to affect their play. They seem to be still firing on all cylinders here, although Bedford hasn't been able to stop them for the last several possessions. Now they're going to get the ball first, and a quick 3-and-out would just suit the Bulldogs just fine.
I did hear Athletic Director Corey Parker at halftime mention that the Trojans' coach buses just did not show up, making an awkward situation. So apparently
so
they came down
over here.
Yeah, they came down.
Get 100 Ubers.
Well, no, that would have been a little surge pricing in effect there.
Absolutely.
Todd comes through, swings the foot through, kicks it off deep, caught back at, not caught, muffed at the 11-yard line. Now with a head of steam and getting big yardage gain all the way back from early. On the return was Braden Hooper. Good job with a head of steam there, getting a 32-yard return out to the 43-yard line.
Yeah, Hooper mishandled that kickoff, had it on the ground, but had enough time and coolness of thought to pick that ball up, and I think that might have thrown Bedford off just a little bit. He was able to find the seam, and he had to get caught from behind down it to the Golden Trojans 43-yard line to start 1st and 10.
Fullerton brings the Trojan offense back to the line of scrimmage. 4 receivers set. They move Paquette from the right to the left. Now he'll motion back to the right. Fullerton takes the snap. Quick pass out into the left-hand side.
Ooh, nice move.
Caught there, but then quickly brought down.
Cam Santos.
Nathan Neely on the catch. Santos with the tackle. That's a 6-yard loss there. 2nd and 16, and a negative play to start the second half for the Trojans.
That was a backward pass. It's a good thing that Neely handled that ball.
Loss of 6 on the play makes it 2nd.
But Santos was not fooled. He was on the spot to make a tackle for loss. And the Golden Trojans are behind the sticks here, 2nd and 16.
Santos, the junior linebacker, coming up to make that sure-handed tackle for that loss of 6. Fullerton now, 2nd and 16, fakes the handoff, looks down deep in the middle. He's got a post going, and it's caught, and Neely is off to the races. It's complete. He's in for a touchdown. It went backwards, but then it went forwards. A big play there for the Trojans on a 63-yard touchdown. And they go up by 13 with the extra point to come.
Yeah, one-on-one coverage here. Hune was right behind him, had a chance to make a tackle, shoestring tackle, couldn't quite do it. Neely just put on the Jets and got to the end zone. Big play there.
Got behind the defenders, as you said, completed the pass, and they were off to the races. So a huge opening drive here for the Trojans. They go up 13-0. The extra point will be attempted here. Snap is back. The hold is down. The kick is up. It looks good. It is good. And the Trojans make a statement here after halftime. 14-0 is your score, and the Bulldogs have some work to do.
Well, the hole just got a little bit deeper. They've been playing good defense ever since giving up that first drive, and then an explosive play right there by Thornton Academy. And that comes after a 6-yard loss on 1st down. You'd think they'd have the momentum there. But quarterback Fullerton decides to roll the dice and hit a speedy receiver. Paid off with a big touchdown there. Now Bedford has to respond here. We just can't afford to fall back any further.
Great route by the senior wide receiver there too. Nathan Neely, number 17. Nice post route there. Got the step. Sure-handed catch, and as he was behind the defense, no one was catching him. LeBlanc with the kickoff. A low-line drive caught by the upback. It was muffed at the 20-yard line, now scooped up and will be advanced out to the 26. They may give forward progress to the 27, and the Bulldogs will have their first possession of this second half in their own territory.
Tackle was made by Trent.
Yeah, it's Teddy LaPointe with the kickoff recovery there. The kicker for Thornton Academy has quite the leg, LeBlanc. We've been looking at these extra points, and they're still elevating after they've gone through the goalposts. I think he might be able to hit a 40-yarder.
The Bulldogs to the line of scrimmage at the 27. 3 receivers out to the right, 1 split to the left. Matthews sends a man in motion right to left. It's Beskar. He takes the snap, looks to the right away, delivers to the right flat. It's Durso. He's got a catch on a stop route for maybe 5 yards.
Durso with the reception.
Out past the 30-yard line. They'll mark him at the 31.
Just a short gain there of 4. You know, Matthews was locked in on Durso that whole time, you know, and that telegraphs to the defensive backs who to watch for. So fortunate that he was able to get the ball in, but there really wasn't much to gain after.
You can get away with that here on some levels as you get to maybe the college level and certainly the pro level. If you're staring down your receiver, those defensive backs are fast enough to make you pay. Gets away with it here. Durso with a 4-yard catch. It's a 2nd and 6 situation for Matthews. He has 2 receivers to each side. Hune to his left in the backfield as Helton came to the sideline for a play. It's handed off to Hune. He's wrapped up. Falls forward for maybe a 2-yard gain.
It's going to be 3rd and 4 coming up. Now Helton comes back on the field. I think Helton needed a little bit of attention on the sidelines. Why Hune was in there.
9:30 and running here in the 3rd quarter. 14-0 is the score. The Trojans ahead on the Bulldogs in 3rd quarter action. Matthews, 3 receivers to his right, 1 split left. Helton to his right in the backfield. Beskar goes in motion right to left. Matthews takes the snap, rolls to his right, delivers out into the flat. Durso has the catch ahead for 1st down yardage, pushed out of bounds beyond the 40. Looks like they'll mark him at the 43. Bulldogs with a 1st down. Nice play execution here.
Durso becoming Matthews' favorite target, his most trusted target. Needed a big catch here on 3rd down. Durso delivers, moves the sticks. 1st and 10 from the Bedford 43. Bulldogs trail 14-0 here. 9 minutes to go in the 3rd.
3 receivers out to the left for Matthews. Tight is right. Helton to his right in the backfield. He's 5 yards deep in the gun. Takes the snap, hands it off to Helton. He goes off the left-hand side of the line, in between the guard and the tackle, and they stack him up after maybe a 4-yard gain. He's marked at the 47. Still in Bedford territory. They'll call it 2nd and 6.
Yeah, that was all Helton. His legs powering him forward. His helmet's off. He's going to come off the field one more time here. Hune back in for him. Not sure if his helmet got taken off or if he needs a bit of care. No, he's just going to be talking to the coaches there.
Gets his shirt adjusted on the sideline as it crept up his shoulder pads. Matthews, 3 left, 1 receiver out to the right. Hune to his right in the backfield. Motion man is Durso from left to right, out in that left side. Matthews keeps it, he pulls it down. Faked it to Hune and went off the right guard. Flaherty absolutely levels his defensive lineman. In fact, I think it was the linebacker. Matthews close to the 1st down, and they will move the sticks forward. Yeah, maybe not. They look like they might measure. No, they don't. They move the sticks. 1st and 10 inside Trojan territory at the 47.
Trent Wilson was the Trojan linebacker who got served the pancakes.
You know,
you want syrup with that?
I'm not sure how you can avoid a pancake. I mean, Connor Flaherty, big boy, very skilled offensive lineman. If he gets you in the right spot, he's moving you no matter what.
Like a steamroller.
Big boy and phenomenal to watch game film on him. Helton takes it off Connor Flaherty's left side. Helton almost dodged that last tackler. He got to the 2nd level, tried to jump and avoid the D-back diving at his legs and just couldn't gain his balance as he was in the air and flailing.
I'd like to see a replay of that. Carter Cormier. I wonder if he tripped, if he used his legs to trip Helton. He did roll under him.
We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't think he made contact with a leg whip or anything of that nature. It's marked at the 34. Helton got through the line of scrimmage into that 2nd level. No trip there. He's marked down at the 34. It's 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs as they are trying to put a drive together that started back at their own 27. Matthews puts Beskar motion right to left. He'll roll out to the right-hand side, picks up a couple blocks, delivers upfield. It's complete. I believe that's Dylan Belair. Excuse me, that is Jacoby DeJesus, not Dylan Belair. It is another 1st down as it's complete at the 21-yard line. The Bulldog offense has come alive here. 6:50 and ready to roll as they reset the chains. 6:50 to go here in this 3rd quarter. This is the 1st offensive possession for the Bulldogs in the 2nd half. Of course, the Trojans scored a touchdown on a 63-yard pitch and catch to Neely, putting the Trojans up 14-0. Matthews, again, Beskar motion right to left. toss sweep to Helton. They pursue out to the wide side, and we get a late flag
from way out.
Way in. Jeez, not
I think it's
quite
going to be a personal foul on one of the Trojans.
Wow, that was really late. And they will stop the clock.
I think there was some kind of contact. You see number 15, Dominic Hussey, pleading his case to the official. I think they're going to call him for some kind of unsportsmanlike personal foul. Yeah,
it is a personal foul. It will be half the distance from the 19. So they'll march him down to the 9.5-yard line.
Full 15.
It'll be well, it's half the distance, yeah, so they're inside the 20. And it will be an automatic first down for the Bulldogs.
An automatic first and goal here. First time they've been in the red zone today.
First and goal for the Bulldogs. Finally in a threatening position. Matthews, 4 wide receivers set, Helton stacked behind him. 7 yards deep. Matthews is 5 yards deep. Beskar goes in motion left to right. Matthews fakes the handoff, looks out to the left. He's got coverage there, tries the military roll, gets some space, cuts it up. Late pitch and catch to Helton. It is complete. Helton dodges a defender and is in for 6. I will be very surprised if there was not an ineligible man downfield, but right now they're calling it a touchdown. Helton hung out by the line of scrimmage.
Now watch this scramble by Matthews. He evaded 2 sure tacklers right here.
Right here, this move right here. Boom, gets some space, a little stiff arm, cuts it back up. You think he's gonna tuck it and run, but he doesn't. Finds Helton, and Helton sees only one defender. Stiff arms, moves to his left, and he's in for the score. So a 9-yard touchdown catch for Helton. The extra point is back. Hold is down. The kick is up. It looks good. It is good. And the Bulldogs have their first points of the evening and bite into that lead. Score now 14-7. The Trojans, as the Bulldogs are able to answer on their first possession here of the third quarter.
Don't forget, next week is Goffstown Rivalry Week on BCTV and Goffstown TV, and since all the contests, girls, boys soccer, field hockey, and football are happening at Goffstown, we're going to be picking up the Goffstown TV broadcast for you. So be sure to tune in all week on BCTV for Goffstown Rivalry Week. There is one exception though. On Wednesday the 24th, the Dover Green Wave come to Bedford to take on the field hockey team. 5-1 right now, 5:30 start for that. We'll have that for you on BCTV.
We'll join you back here in 2 weeks as the Bedford Bulldogs will return home. After that Goffstown matchup, Todd will be back to kick for the Bulldogs. Set to kick it off. 6:01 remaining here in the third quarter. 14-7 is your score, and the Trojans will go back on the offensive side. Kick is caught at the 13. Up the middle. Out beyond the 35. Decent run back here for the Trojans as Brennan Tabor was able to get upfield right up the middle with some positive yards for the Trojans, and Fullerton will come back out. See if he can continue this scoring trend. Touchdown for each team as we started the third quarter.
Thornton Academy doing a great job on these kickoff returns, getting decent field position to start out here.
So from their own 38, Fullerton looks to the side, gets more signals from his offensive coaching staff. 3 receivers to his right, 1 split out to the left. That's Simon Gellis. Ayub to his back right. He'll shift to the left now. Take the handoff, go up the middle. Ahead, out past the 40-yard line to about the 43.
You know, Ayub, it looked like they were going to get Ayub in the backfield, but he's very shifty. Sometimes he just kind of puts on the brakes just for a split second, waits for the rush to get by him before he takes off.
That was it. He waited for his blockers, waited for the play to develop, and it was ahead for 5 yards. It's 2nd and 5 for Fullerton now. And that patience has paid off a few times for Ayub tonight. The Trojans adjust their offensive set. They'll hand it. No, they will not. Fullerton pulls it down, comes out to the side, and just throws it away as the offensive receivers were covered well out to this right-hand side. Fullerton throws it away, gives his offense a second chance. So 3rd and 5.
Chase Paquette, the receiver in the vicinity, so no grounding call there.
Looked like Nathan Neely was in the area as well. He had that 63-yard touchdown on the Trojans' last offensive possession. 3 receivers out to the right for Fullerton. Bulldogs show blitz, and they come out to the left-hand side. Pass is complete. 1st down yardage and into Bedford territory at the 49. That was Simon Gellis on the catch. And the Trojans have a 1st down.
Once again, when they just need 5 or 6 yards, they do that quick pass to the flat. Very effective.
Timing route, good communication, good chemistry with Fullerton and his wide receivers. And it makes good for the 1st down there. D-line almost jumps again.
They really have to watch that.
Near side linesman has them off the line of scrimmage here. 3 receivers out to the right for Fullerton. He takes the snap, hands it off up the middle. Good job there by the defense, led by Connor Flaherty, wrapping up Ayub. Little to no gain.
Helping out as well.
Tackle made by Connor Flaherty.
Call it 2nd and 10 as they mark him again at the 49. 4:15 and counting here in the 3rd quarter. The Trojans ahead by 7. 14-7 is your score. As they led 7-0 at halftime, they've traded touchdowns in their first possessions here in the 3rd quarter. And now Fullerton sends a man in motion right to left. That's Paquette. Ayub will follow him around to the left-hand side. He's ahead for 3, maybe 4 yards. They mark him at the 46. Looks like it'll be 3rd and 7.
Alex Bissonette helping out on the tackle as well. In case you're wondering, this game does count in the Thornton Academy record. However, it will not count officially for the Bulldogs with the NHIAA.
3rd and 7 for Fullerton. 4 receivers set. Takes the snap, looks out to the right-hand side, delivers it too high. Incomplete as it was intended for Simon Gellis. It will be 4th and 7. Looks like the punt team will come on for the Trojans as they try to bury the Bulldogs back deep in their own end.
And credit Brody Helton there for the pressure on Fullerton. Got in his face, and really I think he affected the throw.
Came hard from that linebacker position.
Brendan Krause was in there as well.
So 3:13 to go here in the 3rd quarter. The punt is away and caught back at the 7-yard line. Helton received it back there. Tries to dance his way forward, but can only get 5 or so on the return. Gets out to the 12.
Yeah, very well covered there by the special teams unit for Thornton Academy. You know, it's easy to listen to Bedford 105.1 online. Just go to our website, bedford1051.com. You'll find the stream link there. We also stream on phone apps like TuneIn, MyTuner, Simple Radio, Radio Garden. Or if you have an Alexa device, just say, Alexa, play Bedford 105.1.
3:02 remaining in the 3rd quarter. 14-7 is your score. The Trojans lead the home squad, the Bedford Bulldogs, but the Bulldogs back on the offensive side from their own 12-yard line. Matthews brings 4 receivers set, 2 each side, and Helton behind him, stacked as the running back. Matthews takes the snap, turns, hands to Helton. He goes to the left side. He's got a lot of room. He cuts it back. He cuts it back again. He's running free in the secondary, and is finally tackled out by the 38-yard line. Big gainer on first down, and that's the first glimpse of Helton's breakaway ability that we've seen tonight.
Helton hit that hole, and you'll notice that he had two linebackers pursuing him, but Helton kept shifting from left to right, leaving these tacklers unsure which direction to go until he finally brought him down there. He got at least an extra 5 or 10 yards.
Nice blocking at the point of attack for the Bedford Bulldogs offensive line, specifically that left-hand side. Flaherty, as well as Braden Calkins. Matthews, 4 receivers set again, hands to Helton. He'll go to the right-hand side. He's got some more room. Cuts it up, has some room into territory for the Trojans, and slips and falls down at the 38. Tried to cut it back there, and unfortunately tripped himself up. Mark him at the Trojan 37.
On the turf there?
Looked like he did. Caught a turf monster and went down.
Oh, yeah, he was ready to break off some more yards there. He was about to make that cut inside. Right there, lost the footing. Break for Thornton Academy here.
They mark him at the 38-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs in Trojan territory.
Helton's going to come out here for a breather. I hope he's okay.
2 big runs for Helton. He probably wants to catch his breath. 4 receivers set for Matthews. Hune to his right, we have to assume. Can't see the number. Fakes to Hune. Matthews keeps it himself, goes off the left guard. Inside the 35 to the 34. 4, maybe 5 yards on the carry for Matthews.
Yeah, he's going to pick up 4 yards on that play. Straight up the middle. Fake to Hune.
The clock ticks with 1:30 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Sorry, Harry.
Oh, no problem. I was just going to say, little substitution here. Sturgis comes out. Jacoby DeJesus back in. Trying to see if Helton's still on the sideline. So with 2nd down here, no Helton on the field.
Winston Hune to the right of Matthews. 3 receivers to his left side. Tight end is right. Matthews takes the snap, hands it off to Hune. He gets the carry off the left-hand side. Good blocking up front, and he gets it down to the 25-yard line with a 1st down. They'll move the chains. That's a methodical approach here for the Bulldogs.
That's what you want from your backup running back there. Spelling Brody Helton picked up a big 1st down right there. Now we have an injured player for Thornton Academy. Try to get you a number here in a minute.
Injury timeout gives Bulldogs offense a moment to catch their breath, get some water, talk with Coach Matthews and the offensive coordinator on this side.
It's a player with a 1 in the number. Unfortunately, you can't see the 2nd number. It probably won't now because the trainers are obscuring our view.
59.3 seconds remain in the 3rd quarter. 14-7 is your score. The Trojans ahead by a touchdown.
While we've got a little bit of time here, let's run through our underwriters. The BCTV and WBNH would like to thank our underwriters for supporting our live sports coverage. They include Primary Bank, the Wicks Insurance Group, Interim Healthcare of Manchester, Nelson Real Estate in New Hampshire, and great New Hampshire restaurants like T-Bones and the Copper Door. Thank you very much for underwriting our sports coverage. And
a couple of Division I football scores from around the state of New Hampshire.
Oh,
Exeter led Londonderry at halftime 14-8, and Pinkerton led Salem at halftime 17-13.
That was Ben Knox, by the way, number 19. It was the injured player. He's off to the sideline, got to the sideline okay.
We are just about ready to resume play. The ball is spotted on the 25-yard line going in Trojan territory. The Bulldogs offense trots back to that line of scrimmage. They will have 3 receivers to the left into the boundary as the ball is on the left hash. Tight end is right. Helton to the right of Matthews, 5 yards deep. They'll hand it to Helton. He's got some blocking again and into that secondary.
There he goes.
Weaves around and he's in for a touchdown. I don't see any yellow hankies. 25-yard touchdown run for the Bulldogs. Helton is ready to even up this score, and Coach Matthews is going crazy over Connor Flaherty. Let's see what kind of block that big left tackle has to set Helton free here. Seals him off, stays with the block. I think he got another pancake. He got pulled down afterwards. Helton, just great vision, bounces to the outside and puts the Bulldogs within an extra point. Todd will be on to try it. 2 touchdowns here in the second half for Brody Helton. The first on a 9-yard touchdown catch, and the second here on a 25-yard run. Snap is back. The hold is down. The kick is up. It looks good. It is good. And we are knotted at 14. New ball game here in the second half. 44.7 seconds to go in this third quarter. And we start anew.
Indeed, we start anew. Everything that happened before now is out the window. It's a new game with a quarter to play. Let's see who wants it more.
So after trading touchdowns on those first 2 possessions, the Bulldogs defense held, forced the Trojans to punt. They started at their own 12-yard line, so an 88-yard touchdown drive piloted by Bennett Matthews, capped off by Brody Helton on that 25-yard touchdown run. Knots the score at 14. We have 44.7 seconds left in the third quarter, and Elijah Todd ready to kick it back to the Trojans.
And about 85% of that drive was Brody Helton running the ball. Winston Hune with a big first down when Helton was on the sidelines, but almost all of it Brody Helton finding those holes and just doing what Helton does.
Got to be about 60, maybe 70 yards of those 88 credited to Helton. Low liner, end over end, taken at the 10-yard line. Here's Neely. Again, he had a spectacular catch and run on a 63-yard touchdown. First possession for the Trojans. He gets out to the 21-yard line. It looks like they'll spot it there.
Cam Santos leading the charge right there with the tackle. A group of Bulldogs with him as well.
Santos will stay on at his linebacker position there. He's been a great contributor for this defense and special teams units. The junior getting the start here on the defensive side and really anchoring this defense. Fullerton comes back out. He has 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Ayub to his left in the backfield, 5 yards deep. Claps his hands, pitches it out to the right-hand side. Pass is complete near the 25-yard line. That's Simon Gellis on the catch. Might give him 3 yards on the catch. It'll be 2nd and 7.
Bulldogs must be feeling pretty good right now. After being down 14, they've erased that deficit in the third quarter alone.
See if the Trojans want to run one more play before the third quarter clock expires. We're at 9-8, and it looks like they're content to run this out. And head to the fourth. We'll switch ends of the field. We'll mark it at the 25-yard line. And we will see how this fourth quarter plays out. It's been a back-and-forth affair. The Trojans scoring on their opening possession of the game, put them up 7-0. They scored on their opening possession of the third quarter to put them up 14-0, and now the Bulldogs have answered 2 straight. A 9-yard touchdown catch by Helton, a 25-yard touchdown run by Helton. And with 12 minutes back on the board for this fourth quarter, we are even at 14.
So Corey, did you know that becoming a high school sports official is an easy call? Officiating allows you to continue to be a role model by demonstrating qualities such as impartiality, fairness, and courage. High school sports officials help protect the integrity of the games we love by teaching and enforcing the rules of play. New officials have an opportunity to make a difference in their communities right away. To learn more about becoming a high school sports official, just visit NHIAA.org.
Harry, I did know that. And I've actually been encouraged. I understand that the football officials in the state of New Hampshire have increased in numbers, and therefore games are not being forced to change nights to overlap fields just to get officiating crews. So we've made progress, still more to go. Fullerton takes the snap to start the fourth quarter. Swing pass out to AU. Nice catch with his hands. Gets ahead to the 27-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 5.
3rd and 4, we'll say.
Okay, 3rd and 4. And again, nice catch by Ayub. That ball was coming in hot above his head. Stuck out those mitts, was able to pull it down and get ahead for his positive yardage.
Yeah, that was a tricky catch there by Ayub. So big third down here. Might be a long 4. See if the Bulldogs can get a stop.
The Tubas are in my way again. Fullerton takes the snap, looks for the double move along the side, and it's dropped. They had their man, and it is dropped. Simon Gellis had it in his gloves and couldn't pull it down. Good pitch, good catch. Excuse me, not a good catch. It was dropped, and it
good
is
ball
4th
placement.
and 4.
You're saying it was a catchable ball, which I believe you are correct. It was.
A little double move and out and up, and they had some space. Fullerton put it on him, but it is incomplete. 4th and 4, and Fullerton will kick it away. Matthews and Helton back to receive.
Bulldogs' momentum continues to build here. See what kind of return we can get.
Snap is back. Punt is away. A little bit of a shank. It bounces at the Bedford 48, and a very good bounce for the Trojans. Down inside the 35. They wave their hands to encourage the roll.
Create a breeze there. Yeah.
And they will down it at the Bedford 32.5-yard line.
Bottom an inch or two.
So Matthews will bring the offense back out to the field. 11:04 to go here in this 4th quarter. Score is tied at 14 as the Bulldogs look to make it 3 offensive possessions in a row with scoring opportunities. 1st and 10. 4 receiver set. 3 out to the right, 1 to the left. Matthews has Helton to his left. Durso goes in motion right to left. They give it to Helton. He goes off the right tackle. Ahead for good positive yardage. Close to the 38-yard line. Call it a 5-yard gain and 2nd and 5.
Gain of 5 on the play.
Yeah, I hope Brody Helton's not too tired, because I think they're going to be leaning on him very heavily here the rest of the way.
I would think so.
Pretty much single-handedly got him back into the game.
With those 2 touchdowns here early in the 3rd quarter, absolutely. 3 receivers out to the left. Tight end is right. Helton to the right of Matthews in the gun. 5 yards deep. Calls it out. Gives it. No, he does not. Fakes it. Matthews keeps it. Goes out to the right-hand side. He's got a lot of room. He's into Trojan territory and brought down inside the 30-yard line. Big gainer there for Matthews, as he'd had some nice misdirection and sneaky hands there as he pulled it down. And had a huge gain for the Bulldogs.
It was a great time to call that play action. He faked the handoff to Helton. You know that the Golden Trojans were focused on Helton getting the ball again. And then Matthews turned on the Jets down the sideline.
Ball is marked at the 30-yard line in Trojan territory as we tick inside 10 minutes. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. 2 receivers to each side. Helton behind Matthews, who's in the gun. He'll hand it to Helton off the left-hand side. A big hole to run through. He's still on his feet. Dodges some tacklers, rolls over a few more, and he's inside the 10-yard line. 1st and goal for the Bulldogs at the 8.
Tackled by Hayden Warren. And that run good for a 1st down.
Helton was rolling there. It looks like he might have a cramp as he's getting his teammates to stretch him out there.
Yeah, he's been coming off the field a lot. Hune has to go in to spell him every once in a while. It could well be that.
He did have a calf cramp, I believe, in the Nashua South game that worried some viewers, but was able to walk it off. He looks like he's going to be able to do the same here. 3 receivers out right. Tight end is left for Matthews. Hune to his left. They give it to Hune. He dances in the middle, gets away, and into the end zone. 8-yard touchdown run for Winston Hune. And the Bulldogs score on each of their first 3 possessions here in the 2nd half and go up 20-14 for the time being.
Hune doing a great job substituting for Helton, taking that ball, using his vision and finding the hole right up the middle. And like you said, all the momentum is on the Bulldog side. 3 possessions And 3 touchdowns here, all in the second half.
They line up for the extra point. Todd is there, ready to kick. The snap is back. The hold is down. The kick is blocked. It is blocked. Great job coming off that left edge and getting a hand on it. Not quite sure who that was. We'll have to see the replay. But athleticism and perfectly timed dive got that kick blocked. You're talking to that right side there. Came in untouched.
Trying to get the number.
Getting a big mitten. It looks like number 16, Carter Cormier. And that's a big play.
Could be a difference maker in this game.
So let's remember
Thornton
that
Academy has shown that they can score quickly. They can strike. So even though Bedford has overcome a 14-0 lead to score 20 straight points, still lots of time on the clock, 9:14, and the ball going back to the Golden Trojans here.
So Todd will get back to kick things off here. Returners will take their positions deep in their own end for the Trojans. Neely Hooper.
It's a $340 prize, and you can get it.
And it looks like Steve-O Jones back there as the third return man. Taking his steps back is Elijah Todd. He's had some low worm burners trying to get the squib kick going. See if he does the same here. It's somewhat short to the right-hand side. It hits the turf first and taken by number 39. Getting a block there and getting out past the 35. He's brought down at the 38. They do not call block in the back. That was Braden Hooper on the return and gives the Trojans decent field position to start at their own 38. (20-14) is your score. The Bulldogs scoring touchdowns on each of their first 3 possessions here in the second half. Coming back from a 14-0 deficit. And now the Trojans coming back with their offense trying to respond after punting from their their last 2 possessions here in the second half. Fullerton has 2 receivers out to the left, 2 to the right, including his tight end to his right. Motion man from right to left. The ball gets on the turf. It's still loose. They look to scoop and score. It's covered by the Bulldogs, and they're deep in Trojan territory. Brought down at the 24. That snap looked awkward, and the ball squirted around. It was scooped up and returned by Cody Byer. And
huge turnover here.
That is a big one there. That just the snap looked awkward from moment 1. Byer there scoops it up, tries to score. He's brought down at the 24-yard line in Trojan territory.
He's able to pick up about 10 yards on that pickup. I mean, the ball was just lost in the wash here and rolls out. Nobody sees the ball except for Byer. It rolls right to him. He's able to pick it up and, like I said, pick up about 10 yards of field position. Now with 9 minutes to go, Bedford is at their own 24, the Golden Trojans 24-yard line, a chance to make this a 2-score game.
Now there is some discussion going on here with the officials. I didn't see any flags on the play.
Well, I don't see how that would be anything but a fumble. But they're going to talk to Coach Matthews. We'll see what
could be the mark. The chains have not moved from that far sideline after the 1st and 10 for the Trojans at their own 38. And so they have not adjusted anything quite yet. It seemed rather clear that this should be a fumble and a turnover. Coach Matthews having a discussion with the referee.
I mean, Byer was not down. How is, I totally don't.
Wow.
Now they're putting the defense, but they're going to give the ball back to. I don't understand why they're doing this.
Wow, that's going to need some explanation.
The official lost sight of the ball and blew the whistle, perhaps?
I'm not sure why Coach Matthews has not absolutely flipped his lid at this point. That is a huge play.
Yeah, he's flipping his lid.
To be turned over. It looks like it's a do-over. It's not even a loss of down here. It's 1st and 10 for the Trojans. And now we see Coach Matthews absolutely irate, yelling and screaming as it appears to be 1st and 10 for the Trojans.
He's saying it's down, it's our ball. Yeah, he's not happy.
He has a right to be upset here.
Unfortunately, there's no replay in high school, so.
It quite clearly was a fumble. That ball was squirting around everywhere. And it did come out loose to the near sideline. They may have been calling him down, but I'm not sure why it wouldn't be 2nd down and 10 if they covered their own fumble. It's indicated 1st and 10. And now Fullerton takes the snap, hands it off up the middle. No gain, maybe even a loss for AU. As he's stacked up at the line of scrimmage by Connor Flaherty. And that was a big no call, whatever. Just
I don't know
a lot
what
of
that was.
confusion there. We still have no explanation up here in the booth. So they lose 2, 2nd and 12.
The only thing I can think is that the officials blew the play dead because they lost track of the ball. But then why would it be still 1st down?
Confusing play all around, and clearly a botched one there. And did not go in the Bulldogs' favor for sure. 2nd and 12. 8:15 and counting on the clock. A 20-14 lead for the Bulldogs. And now we're going to get a flag deep from the back judge. It'll be a 5-yard delay of game.
And you can see the Bedford defense was waving their arms to the officials saying, throw the flag. It's been way past 40 seconds.
They do back them up. It'll be 2nd and 17 to go. 8:06 to go in the third quarter. Excuse me, in the fourth quarter. 20-14 is your score. Fullerton has receivers on either side. 2 right, 2 left. Ayub to his left in the backfield. He's in the gun 5 yards deep. Going in motion is Neely. They hand it to Ayub. He tries the right-hand side of the line. He squirts through for 3, maybe 4 yards. And they'll spot him just shy of the 35-yard line in their own territory.
So they're calling this 3rd and 13. And keep in mind, too, that Thornton Academy scored on a 2nd and 16 play. 63-yard pass.
Gets back to 5 yards from the penalty. Call it 3rd and 13.
Can't have a letdown here.
2 receivers to each side. Ayub to the left of Fullerton in the backfield. Claps his hands, rolls to the left, sets his feet, delivers out to the left-hand side. Caught and out of bounds, but short of the 1st down. He's out of bounds at the 46. He needed to get to the 48.
So what did they do here? Go for it on 4th, 7:20 to go. They could punt it away.
2 yards to go. They might think about it a little bit, but they trail by 6, and they're going to seemingly punt it away. No, they are not. They keep their offense on the field.
Now, how much time? They're trying to decide. The clock is ticking here. The play clock.
The signals come in from the sideline. They go with their bone team, the heavy, 2 tight set. They'll take a timeout. Maybe the Bulldogs will take a timeout. As they were ready to go for it, they had a 2 tight set, 3 backs in the backfield, stacked behind Fullerton, who was ready to line up under center and go for this 4th and 2 on their own 46. Timeout is called. We'll reset. 7:20 to go here in the game. The Bulldogs lead 20-14 in this back and forth affair.
And don't forget, next week, the Bulldogs will travel to Goffstown, part of Goffstown Rivalry Week. Friday night at the Goffstown Stadium. We'll have video, at the very least, from Goffstown TV. We might do a radio call if we can work out the logistics to do that.
Great new turf up there in Goffstown.
Yeah, it's a great looking field too, and lights. Now that they have lights, they can have Friday night lights instead of Saturday afternoon, whatever that is.
So this is what, the 3rd year of the turf they've had up there, and great new facility, good press box, and the lights are state of the art. The LEDs, they can do light displays and whatnot. So here we are, 4th and 2. have some discipline on that defensive line. Fullerton under center. Takes the snap, rolls. He's going to pass it deep down the middle. Some confusion, some collisions. The receiver falls down. It is incomplete. Looks like the legs got tripped up, and that incomplete pass will be a turnover on downs.
So Bedford gets the ball back on downs after being denied a turnover for reasons that we have yet to determine what the call was, but no harm, no foul. Bulldogs get the ball, 7:15 to play. They're going to be in Thornton Academy territory on the 46-yard line. So a long drive, another score, make it a 2-score game, could put this game away for the Bulldogs.
46.
So their fourth possession, they'll try to do what they did on their first 3 possessions, and that is score a touchdown. 7:15 to go. Matthews, 2 receivers left and 2 right. Helton stacked behind him in the gun. Helton takes the handoff off to the left-hand side. He's got some room. He's got the edge, and he'll slow down and trot out of bounds at the 32-yard line after gaining first down yardage.
Yeah, Helton could have gotten more yardage on that play. I think maybe he just didn't want the contact. It would have been great if he could have just given himself inbounds, not stop the clock, but I think they want to extend this possession as much as they can.
The way he plays this game is physically aggressive. It's going to take a toll on his body, and that's a smart play at this point, except, as you mentioned, stopping the clock. So first down on the Trojans' 32 heading in. Matthews has a back on each side. Tight end is right, slot left. He'll bark out the signals. Takes the snap. Hands it off to Durso. He'll go to the left side of center. Gets ahead for 3 yards or so. We'll mark him at the 29. It'll be 2nd and 7. And now the clock ticks. Again, the Bulldogs ahead by 6. 20-14 is your score. Taking their time in the huddle, being deliberate with this possession. Matthews has a running back on either side of him. Slot is left, tight is right. Hands it to Durso again. He goes off the right-hand side this time. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage and falls forward for maybe 2 yards.
Grady Hersey pulling him down from behind.
We'll call it 3rd and 5. They need to get to the 22 in Trojan territory. 6 minutes and counting.
Yeah, I would say this is 2-down territory.
Yeah, a bit far out for a field goal attempt.
As we've seen.
Similar formation, slot left, tight right, a back on either side of Matthews in the backfield. He's 5 yards deep, ready to take the shotgun. Hands it off, no he doesn't, pulls it down. Pulls ahead and gets out to the right, big stiff arm, and down way deep in Trojan territory. They mark him at the 6. That's that athleticism. We keep going back to it. Got through a tackler right near the line of scrimmage and then broke it free for a big gain.
Watch the stiff arm. He's surrounded by 3 Trojan players, and he's able to kind of push one aside.
Boom, right there. And a second one there. Right at the 25, and then it gets all the way down to the 6-yard line. Big play there for Matthews, a leader on this team, coming up at a critical time. 5:10 to go in this game. 20-14 is your score. 1st and goal for the Bulldogs as they lead by 6. Helton takes it off the right-hand side, dances around, bounces all the way back to the left-hand side, and he's in for a touchdown. That is a talented run right there. You just cannot draw that up. Amazing balance, amazing strength, amazing vision, and Helton in for 6.
The way that he can just change direction on a dime, just incredible.
So they will huddle back up, and they'll go for 2 as they miss that extra point. They want to get that 14-point spread again. Touchdown here again by Helton on a 6-yard scamper, and I'm confident in calling that a scamper. Four receiver set, two to the left, two to the right. Helton to the right of Matthews in the backfield. They go for 2 points after that latest score. They give it, no they don't. It's out to Beskar. He's got a catch in the right flat. He tries to bowl over the defender, but they do well to pull him down out of bounds. It was Steve-O Jones on the tackle, pulling Beskar out of bounds. 2-point conversion is no good. It stays 26-14.
It's really unfortunate they didn't just give the ball to Helton, because watch this oh, they're going to replay the touchdown here. Or actually it's going to be the run by Matthews that got him into the red zone. And then here's the touchdown run from Helton, shifting off to his left. And now watch, I guess they're not going to show the extra point, but Helton just had a lane. He just waltzed right into the end zone. There was nobody in the middle, so they kind of outsmarted themselves by passing to the outside.
His ability to make people miss, though, is exceptional, and he did it yet again there, getting to pay dirt on a 6-yard touchdown run. Elijah Todd will kick it off as the Bulldogs now have a 2-score lead with 4:58 remaining here in the game. The Trojans do have big play ability, as we saw on that 63-yard touchdown pass to Neely to open the third quarter. Got in behind the defensive backs as Todd squibs it deep. Taken by number 39 again as Braden Hooper up the middle again, out past the 35 to the 36, just shy of the 37.
And Zane Beskar with the tackle there on the kickoff return. So 12-point lead here for the Bulldogs. They've scored 26 straight on 4 possessions after falling behind 14-0. It was 7-0 at the end of the half. Thornton Academy scoring on their first possession of the first half, then scoring on their first in the second.
Helton with 3 of the 4 scores. Winston Hune with the 4th. Propels the Bulldogs into this 12-point lead. 3 linemen set here for the defense as they know the Trojans are going to try to throw, and
almost caught.
Almost picked off in this near sideline. Durso got his hands on it, bobbled it, and I think he caught it, but he didn't control it until he was out of bounds. So
yeah,
it'll count as a pass breakup and very close to an interception.
He might have been out of bounds, although we can't tell because we're obscured by the Bedford bench.
Yeah, well, the tubas are in the way again. They're killing me.
Dang tubas.
2nd and 10 for the Trojans. Fullerton goes empty backfield. Bulldogs with their nickel package here, try to get some pressure, and they do. They get to Fullerton, and a sack from the backside. Getting in there was Brennan Krause, the senior captain, with a big play on the defensive side of the ball. That'll be a 2-yard loss for the Trojans. 3rd and 12, and the clock ticks under 4.5.
Thornton Academy does have 3 timeouts still.
They choose not to use one here, taking a good amount of time calling in the play here.
Yeah, you would think that there'd be some more urgency on their part with time ticking away. They need 2 scores.
Very tight splits by the offensive line at this point. Fullerton slaps his hands together, rolls out to the left-hand side, sets his feet, delivers down the field, and it's incomplete over the head of Neely by about 10 yards.
So decisions, do they go for it here or punt it away? I guess they're going to try punting it away.
Looks like the punt unit does come on. 3:54 to go in the game, 4th and 12. Inside your own territory, the ball is marked at the 35 for the Trojans. 4th and 12, if it's anything, maybe 4th and 5, 4th and 7, you might roll the dice, but 4th and 12 is tough down and distance to try to go for it.
Yeah, but it's going to be hard to score 2 here unless they get a turnover.
Well, they'll hope for a 3 and out. They still do have those 3 timeouts that you just mentioned, but Coach Matthews will burn one of his, as he'll talk it over.
And also maybe just to make sure to watch for the fake here.
Sure, absolutely.
Always a possibility.
So that was Bedford's 2nd timeout of the half. They do have 1 remaining. And again, an impressive offensive turnaround here in the second half for the Bulldogs.
Well, you know,
to figure out a few things. and got their offense rolling.
Yeah, the big difference is the mistakes. They've eliminated the mistakes. They were moving the ball quite well in the first half. Probably could have put up a couple of touchdowns easily, but the ill-timed holding calls, losing the ball, that just shows you that the drive killer, the way those penalties and turnovers get to you.
A couple of false starts mixed in there too, and again, those negative yardage plays start to add up, and that was the story of the first half. The story of the second half is completely different. 26-14 is your score. The Bulldogs ahead by 12 with 3:54 to go in the game. Snap is back. Fullerton will kick it away, gets off a good one. High kick taken by Helton at his own 20. Takes it to the right-hand side. He's got a lane. He's got some more yardage and space. He's out past the 50, down to the 40, and pushed out of bounds in Trojan territory. Great return run there for Helton. Just tucked it under his right arm, sprinted to the right-hand side, picked up a few blocks, and gets deep into Trojan territory.
Once Helton gets a head of steam going, there's really not much you can do. When they hand the ball off to him, if they don't make contact with him behind the line of scrimmage or at the line of scrimmage, he's gone. He's going to get a first down. He's going to get 20 yards. Once he's moving, once he's got space, there's very little he can do to bring him down.
He gets a head of steam. He gets some speed under him. Not the fastest guy, but that hasn't necessarily held him back. And again, he looks to just punish any tackler that wants to pull him to the ground. 3:38 to go. Coach Matthews is likely going to lean on his run game here. Bleed some time off that clock. Make sure there's ball security with two arms over the ball.
Stay in bounds. Give yourself up if you have to. Just keep that clock moving.
And make it extremely difficult for this Trojans team to score twice in this last 3.5 minutes. Matthews in the gun, a back on either side. Slot left, tight right. Takes the snap, hands it off to Humes, goes to the left-hand side, sees some space, gets to the second level, and then that's quickly shut down. He's got about a 3-yard gain as he's off to that left hash. Trent Wilson on the tackle for the Trojans. 2nd and 7.
Very surprised that Thornton Academy is not calling timeout here. They've got 3.
They might wait until that third down if they get into a 3rd and long situation, a possible passing situation, and hope for an incomplete pass to stop the clock once again. Similar formation, slot is right this time, tight left. Back on either side of Matthews. Takes the snap, hands it to Durso, spins, gets ahead for first down yardage inside the 25, and the Bulldogs have a first down.
The clock is stopped for the first down. It'll resume as soon as the ball is placed.
You see some Division I scores coming across the ticker there as Nashua South beats Goffstown 43-8.
Big bounce back there. Timberlane 28, Spalding 7. It's also final. Memorial over Portsmouth Oyster River 19-7. That's final.
26-14 is your score here. The Bulldogs ahead 12, 2.5 to go. And they have the ball with a first down inside Trojan territory and in a commanding position. Matthews takes the snap, hands it off to Hume. It's back to the line of scrimmage, maybe ahead for 2. And the clock continues to tick. Down to 2 minutes at this point in time.
Wanted to mention too that Londonderry lost another game tonight. They lost to Exeter. So 2 in a row for the Lancers.
Tough start to the season for them.
That will be one of our road trips this year, a little bit later on in October.
So the clock continues to run. It's inside 1:40. 2nd and 9 for the Bulldogs on the Thornton Academy 24-yard line.
Seeing as that they haven't, no, Bedford's going to call timeout. That's something. I was going to say that the fact that Thornton hasn't used any of their timeouts, it just feels like they're just ready to get on the bus and go back to Saco.
Somewhat odd as they are down by those 2 scores. You might imagine a bit more urgency. We're being informed here in the booth that Exeter won on a field goal with 2 seconds left So an exciting game there against their nemesis Londonderry, coming out with a last-second win.
And the defending champs, Pinkerton Academy, Wyndham 35, Alvin 7. Pinkerton score coming up right now. 33-19 over Salem. Quality win there.
It looks like it will be a quality win here for the Bulldogs. We won't want to count our chickens, but there are just under, what do we got? 89 seconds to go.
Well, like I said earlier in the broadcast, this does not count officially toward the Bedford record as far as the NHIAA is concerned. There is some tiebreaker where it could come into play, but it does not count as far as the standings against the other teams in Division I.
All in all, a tough matchup for the Bulldogs tonight, though. They showed some gut and grit coming from behind. Helton on the toss sweep to the right-hand side, breaks through some tacklers. He has another first down for the Bulldogs. And that might be enough to run this down and out.
They could just kneel it out here, assuming that Thornton does not use any of their timeouts.
And that might be the case in that, you know, which teams it counts for and which teams it does not count for. You did say that it will count on the Trojans' record. So
Maine will count this as a loss if it does become a loss. An interesting little, they had to pull Helton out of the game there. He had his helmet off and a little bit of chirping going on with one of the Golden Trojan linebackers there. The other Bulldogs kind of told him to get to the sideline. So under 35 to play here.
Matthews has 3 receivers out to the left, a tight right. Hune to his right in the backfield. Takes the snap. He hands it off to Hune. He goes right up the middle, inside the 10-yard line.
And they won't have to snap it again.
I think they might. That was a 3rd and very short. They move the chains, and they'll stop the clock to move the chains, and now they'll run it, and that'll do it. So that'll be your final. 26-14. The Bulldogs, again, show some perseverance here in the second half. After going down 14-0 on the first possession, the Thornton Academy Trojans with that 63-yard touchdown, but then the Bulldogs rattled off 26 straight points. A touchdown by Helton on a 9-yard catch, a touchdown by Helton on a 22-yard scamper, Hune with an 8-yard touchdown run, and then Helton with another 6-yard touchdown to cap off the scoring. The Bulldogs take home victory, 26-14. And they have to be happy with the outcome tonight, moving to 3-0. Harry, last thoughts?
Tale of two halves. They shot themselves in the foot. Bedford did in the first half. Wasted a lot of good opportunities, a lot of good field position. Gave up, but yeah, really, other than the first drive, they did a pretty good job on the defense. There's little fireworks going off here at the stadium. That's a new addition.
Wow.
That's a nice little addition here to the ballpark.
This is professional level here.
Really.
I feel like I'm over at Delta Dental Stadium watching a Fisher Cats game or something. This is awesome.
But then, second half, they gave up that quick strike touchdown, and you think, wow, that must have really ripped the heart out of the Bulldogs. Nope, they woke up and scored 26 straight and put the Golden Trojans away. So win number 4 over the team from Saco.
Bulldogs again move to 3-0. The Thornton Academy Trojans move to 2-1. And the Bulldogs, as you've mentioned a couple times throughout tonight's broadcast, will head to Goffstown next week to take on the Grizzlies in their next New Hampshire affair. So for Harry Kozlowski, Bill Jennings upstairs on camera, Andrew Fenn back in the studio running the replays and producing, we appreciate the BCTV crew. Great to join you on WBNH 105.1 this evening. You guys have a great evening. We'll join you next time for Bedford Bulldogs football.